So, thinking about ditching that 9 to 5. Oh, ready to jump into the world of entrepreneurship.
It's a big leap.
It is, but that's why we're here, to
Exactly.
help you navigate it all.
Yeah.
Today, we're diving deep into mastering the transition.
From the podcast, The Entrepreneurial Edge.
And trust me, this episode, it's packed with real, actionable advice.
None of that, hype you usually hear.
Right. This is about the nitty-gritty,
It gets real about the challenges.
which, let's face it, is what you need to hear.
Absolutely. Before making such a huge life change.
Okay, so one of the things this episode really stresses, it's more than just a job change.
It's a total mindset shift.
Yeah. You're not just switching careers.
We're stepping into a whole new world.
It's like going from, driving on a paved road,
With all the streetlights and signs.
yeah, to suddenly being dropped in the middle of a jungle.
With just a compass and a machete.
Oh, I love that analogy.
Right. Every decision you make matters.
It has consequences.
Big time.
Yeah.
From your marketing plan.
To how you spend, your last $10.
The podcast calls strategic thinking your survival gear.
Makes sense. Because you can't just rely on passion alone.
Passion will get you started,
It's the fuel, initially.
but it's like a sugar rush.
Yeah, it fades fast.
You need a solid plan to make it last.
That's where the strategy comes in.
It's your roadmap through that entrepreneurial jungle.
Okay, but how do we even start mapping out this jungle?
Well, the episode talks about going beyond, basic Google searches.
They call it guerrilla research.
I know, right? It sounds intense.
It does. What exactly does that mean?
Think of it as being undercover, like a spy.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So let's say you're starting a meal kit delivery service.
Okay.
Guerrilla research means you actually order from your competitors.
I
You
think
go through their whole process.
like the onboarding.
Yeah, you analyze their recipes.
See how they package everything.
We're basically experiencing their brand as a customer.
Wow, that's way more insightful than just reading about them online.
It is, right. You're gathering firsthand intel.
You might discover things you'd never find out otherwise.
Exactly. Maybe their customer service is terrible.
Or their instructions are super confusing.
That's valuable information.
You can use that to your advantage.
100%.
Okay, so we've got the right mindset.
We've done our undercover research.
What's next on our entrepreneur's checklist?
Well, gotta talk about the big one.
Money.
Yep.
The episode doesn't shy away from that,
Not at all.
especially if you're bootstrapping your business.
You have to be extra careful.
It's all about making every dollar count,
They suggest having a super detailed budget.
tracking every single expense,
Even that daily latte.
because it all adds up.
It does.
And don't forget about the emergency fund,
Oh, that's crucial. For those unexpected bumps in the road.
because let's be real, starting a business,
It's unpredictable.
you need that safety net.
For sure.
Okay, we've got our mental game strong.
We've done our research. We've got our finances in check.
Now, how do we tell the world about our awesome new venture?
Marketing.
That's where things can get overwhelming.
It's so tempting to do everything at once.
Like, throw a bunch of stuff out there and see what sticks.
The episode actually calls that the spaghetti at the wall approach.
Oh, I've totally been there.
We all have.
Not very effective, though.
Nope. They recommend focusing on just one or two things.
Channels that really resonate with your audience.
Exactly. And then go all in on those.
Double down. Makes sense, right?
So let's say I'm launching that meal kit service we talked about.
Okay.
Yeah. And my target is busy professionals.
Right.
Instead of trying every marketing tactic.
You might focus on targeted social media ads.
And maybe partnerships with fitness studios.
Now you're talking.
It's about maximizing your impact.
And there's another great point they make about marketing.
What's that?
Don't be afraid to be authentic, even if things aren't perfectly polished.
Exactly. People can spot fake a mile away.
So better to have a genuinely helpful blog post
With a few typos.
than a super slick video that feels impersonal.
100%. Realness connects with people.
Show your personality. Share your story.
Focus on providing value.
That's how you build trust.
And get loyal customers.
This is all great advice, but even with the best strategy,
You can't do it all alone.
you eventually need a team.
The episode talks about that too.
What are some of the key takeaways there?
Well, first off, don't rush into hiring.
Take your time.
Find people who really align with your vision.
Not just filling seats.
Exactly. You need people who challenge you.
Who aren't afraid to say, hey, I think that's a bad idea.
You need those different perspectives.
It's like building an ecosystem, not just a group.
Right. You want people who bring diverse viewpoints.
Who help you see things you might miss.
And who can adapt when things change.
Speaking of adapting, there's one last piece of the puzzle. Right. They made it very clear.
Super clear.
The customer is everything.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And it's not just about, listen to your customers.
It goes deeper than that.
They emphasize real engagement.
Going beyond those basic surveys.
You mean actually talking to your customers?
Yes. Having conversation.
Getting that raw, unfiltered feedback.
That's where the gold is.
Because it doesn't matter how great your idea is.
If it doesn't resonate with your market.
You have to understand what they actually want.
And be ready to adjust based on that.
That's where agility comes in.
Being able to pivot quickly.
To respond to changes in the market.
Or feedback from your customers.
And they made a great analogy about that, too.
Oh, yeah.
I love a good analogy.
They compared pivoting in a big company to an earthquake.
Whoa. Okay.
It shakes everything up.
Makes sense.
But for an entrepreneur, it's more like a dance move.
Ooh, I like that.
A quick adjustment, a shift in weight.
You got to be light on your feet.
Precisely. You have to be nimble.
That visual really captures it.
It does, doesn't it?
The importance of being adaptable as a startup.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
For sure. Yeah, it highlights how important it is to ask yourself, what if?
What if?
Like, what if your entire plan just fell apart tomorrow?
Oh, wow.
Could you adjust? Could you rebuild?
That's a scary thought.
It is, but it's also reality.
Yeah.
Things change so fast in the entrepreneurial world.
You got to be prepared for anything.
This episode really emphasizes that mental preparation.
Being ready to change course, to pivot.
Exactly. So having a plan is great.
But you can't be married to it.
You got to be willing to scrap it.
And start over if you need to.
That's adaptability. That's resilience.
And that's why building the right team is so crucial.
100%. You need people who can roll with the punches.
People who are open to new ideas.
Who can handle those pivots.
It's like you need a team of entrepreneurial dancers.
Haha, I love that.
Ready to change steps at a moment's notice.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's recap what we've learned from this deep dive.
Into mastering the transition.
It seems like it all boils down to 7 key elements.
Cultivating a strategic mindset.
Right, thinking like a survivor.
Conducting thorough research.
Going undercover, like we talked about.
Managing your finances wisely.
Every dollar counts.
Focusing your marketing efforts.
No more spaghetti at the wall.
Building a solid team.
You're a team of adaptable dancers.
Prioritizing your customers.
They are everything, after all.
And embracing agility.
Being ready to pivot, to dance.
That's it. Those are the 7 keys.
It's a lot to juggle.
It is.
But I think what makes this episode so valuable is the honesty.
Yeah, it's realistic.
It acknowledges the challenges of entrepreneurship.
But it also gives you the tools to overcome them.
And it emphasizes that success is achievable.
If you have the right approach.
It's not about luck.
It's about preparation, perseverance.
And a willingness to learn and adapt.
Exactly. And you know what really resonated with me?
What's that?
That closing message.
About the journey not being easy.
Yeah. It reminds you that there will be doubts, setbacks.
Moments where you question everything.
But if you can maintain that clarity of purpose,
stay focused on your why,
and remain adaptable,
you'll dramatically increase your chances of success.
It's a powerful message.
It is. Entrepreneurship is a marathon.
Not a sprint.
It's about resilience, perseverance.
A constantly learning and evolving.
It's about embracing those transitions.
The periods of challenge and uncertainty.
That ultimately lead to growth and achievement.
And you know what else they talk about?
What's that?
The importance of community.
Oh, yeah. Finding your tribe.
Connecting with other entrepreneurs.
Finding mentors.
People who've been there, done that.
They make such a difference.
Sharing those experiences.
The challenges, the successes.
Knowing you're not alone in this crazy adventure.
It's huge.
So don't be afraid to reach out.
To people you admire.
Attend industry events.
Join online communities.
Build those relationships.
They can provide incredible support, guidance.
And inspiration.
To all our listeners out there considering taking the leap.
We say go for it.
Embrace the challenges.
Stay focused on your goals.
Connect with others.
And remember, you've got this.
You do. This episode really left me with a lot to think about.
Me too.
It's a good reminder that entrepreneurship is more than just starting a business.
It's a journey of self-discovery.
Pushing your boundaries.
Absolutely. And building on what we've talked about today.
I want to leave our listeners with a final thought.
Okay.
How can you create a culture of continuous learning?
Within your entrepreneurial journey.
How can you view feedback, both positive and negative?
As a catalyst for improvement.
Those are great questions to consider
That mindset of continuous learning is so essential.
because every challenge, every setback,
Every piece of feedback.
it's an opportunity to learn.
To adapt. To become better.
It's about seeing every experience as a chance to refine your approach.
To expand your knowledge. To grow.
So stay curious, embrace feedback.
And never stop learning.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Ah,
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
wow.
Yeah, it really is all about that growth mindset, huh? Seeing those opportunities in like every experience.
You got it. It's what makes this whole thing so fascinating.
Right. Entrepreneurship
Yeah, it's constantly evolving. You never stop learning.
and growing and adapting.
You're always on your toes, that's for sure.
Which I guess brings us back to that point from the episode.
About it being a marathon.
Yeah, not a sprint.
It's a wild ride, that's for sure.
Lots of ups and downs.
But man, the learning experiences you get
You learn so much about yourself.
about business, about like problem solving
They're constantly being pushed to think differently,
outside the box.
to be resourceful.
You gotta be scrappy.
And it never really ends, does it?
Nope. There's always a new challenge around the corner,
Always something to strive for.
which keeps things exciting.
Definitely. This episode really highlighted something for me.
What's that?
That entrepreneurship, it's not just about the business you build.
It's about building yourself, too.
Exactly. Discovering your strengths, facing those fears.
It's like a personal transformation.
You come out the other side a different person.
Stronger, more resilient.
And maybe, just maybe, one day,
Our listeners will be the ones sharing their wisdom.
yeah, inspiring the next generation of entrepreneurs.
To take that leap and pursue their own dreams.
Now that's a thought.
Right.
So to everyone out there on this path,
Or thinking about taking that first step.
we say embrace it all.
The uncertainty, the challenges.
Stay curious. Keep learning.
And find your people.
Your tribe.
Connect with other entrepreneurs.
Seek out mentors. Build that support system.
Because this journey, it's better together.
It really is. Well, that's about it for this deep dive into mastering the transition.
Hope you enjoyed it.
We hope you found it insightful and inspiring, and most importantly,
Actionable.
yeah, something you can actually use as you start your own adventure.
So go out there, make your mark on the world.
And never be afraid to reach for those stars.
And don't forget to tune in next time for another deep dive.
We'll see you then.